Hello guys, hello ladies, welcome to Salty Reflections. We're out on a barrier island beach here in South Carolina. We've already did one part of a video where we brought some people or the viewers of the channel along as we picked up all these treasures. Lots of nice knob whelks, we found sand dollars, we found olive shells, we found these huge cockles, and we're hoping to find some more shells as we journey down this beach, and I'm sure we are on the way down through here. The tide is coming in. We have already walked about a mile, so we got a little bit further this way, and like I was saying, as the tide has been coming in, so we've been traveling the low tide area, and we have been noticing a great shell rate up on the high tide, but we're saving that. We're pacing ourselves. We've been trying to pick up what was down in the lower sections, the beach finds and stuff, before we start traveling back to our boat. And look at here.
And I'm Stephanie. This is Oliver that's been talking to you. Some of you guys know that already, but for those that are watching our channel for the first time, it's nice to have you here. And this is the beauty that we have spotted.
Whoa, 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 whoa. This is definitely I hope this thing is, I hope it's whole.
I hope so too, because this one looks step worthy to me. I have a line of beautiful whelks.
This is a huge lightning whelk.
I have a lot of beautiful whelks lining our steps.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, it's broken on the back.
That is okay. Let me take this thing down here and rinse it off for you ladies. Man, this is okay. Like I was saying, this is a lightning whelk. And the reason you can tell that this is a lightning whelk is because if you hold that shell up and that pointed downward, this opening is on the left side. But what a perfect, see the difference? Lightning whelk on the left and the knob whelk opening on the right. See the difference? All this is just where the shell was busted. But when them shells are laying down, even though this one's busted, look, you can't tell the difference. And a lot of these shells we're just using in flower shell garden anyhow, so they're fine with us busted. Man, that was a nice shell. We've had some of the laughing gulls walking along with us, checking us out, and got to see a lot of other beautiful seabirds and wildlife while we've been out here. It's been an awesome day. Thankful to be out here with you, right, Steph?
Yeah. Praise the Lord for this gorgeous day He's given us.
That's right.
A little whelk right here. It's a little broken, but it's still pretty.
Yeah, all of the outside area of this thing, it's like a whole layer has been peeled off of it.
Yep.
And that shininess, that's part of the sparrows on the inside. Most of the time the outside of the shell is not going to be that shiny and glistening because it has been worn from being tossed around in the ocean. The sand is actually what dulls the shells, and the sun, you know, bleaches them out.
They have a calcium layer that comes out and lays on top once the snail has died, and that's kind of what causes that like off-whitish color. That's why people dip them into muriatic acid, is to get that outside calcium layer off.
That's right.
Check out this little razor clam. It has the mermaid shimmer on it, what I call it. I'm not sure if you can see it glistening in the sun there. Coloration on it, but that brown is not just brown, it's like an opalescence, and just one of the common shells that we have here.
Big cockle. Really big cockle here. You want it?
Sure. Got that crab pot beside you on your left. Crab pot here. Washed up on the beach. Just some more beach trash.
Yep. Beach treasures are kind of scarce right here through this area.
That's how it is on the beach. Every day at the beach is different. The sea washes treasures up, and the very next tide cycle it could wash them all back out. We've come on this beach and seen it loaded, absolutely loaded with seashells. You couldn't even hardly walk without stepping on shells. And then we've seen this beach where it's just sand, hardly no shells at all. So it is what it is. The beach gives us what it gives.
And that's why we consider it a treasure hunt. A treasure hunt. We're hunting for treasures because we never know what's going to be out here.
Little mud balls in certain areas, and that is a sign of a tumultuous sea. So I'm assuming these are washed up and rolled up like that from Hurricane Debby that just went off our coast.
Yeah, less than a week ago now, Hurricane Debby come right out of Georgia, went off the coast, bypassed us a little bit here in Beaufort, and come right back in down around the Charleston area, right?
Yep, I believe so.
Pretty sure it come back in down around that area. And for the most part, there was not much damage here from Hurricane Debby. Most of the damage it was, you know, flooding from the rains. The wind and stuff wasn't even that bad in this area. We may have gotten 50-mile-an-hour winds at most 60.
Right, which is what we can expect during a bad thunderstorm and things like that as well. And I just wanted to show you this oyster right here. Looks like a little heart to me with this little dip right here. And look at those colors in it. Such orange.
Cool. Nice. And I know we're experiencing some 10-mile-per-hour winds right now, which may leave a little unwanted noise in this video, but the reason that it's going to be that way is because if we run a windsock on this GoPro on this 90-something degree day, the camera just starts overheating so much that it's unbearable to deal with. So, hey, the video is what it is. Either you like it or you don't. We hope you do. If you don't, then maybe, you know, these types of videos are not for you. We do not make videos for people that don't like these types of videos. This type of video is made for the ones of you that have left us comments telling us that you do like these beach journeys and enjoy them, and hit the like button and keep asking us to bring you back. You are the ones that we make these videos for, and the ones that are commenting and leaving the negative comments, hey, bad publicity is just as good as good publicity. So if you don't like videos like this, the best thing you can do is not even leave a comment, to be honest.
Yeah, we try to put on the thumbnail exactly what you're going to see. So if you see seashells on the thumbnail and you're not a sheller or not a beachcomber, you might just want to skip that video.
Yeah, maybe we should just say, hey, we was on the beach and the wind was blowing, right?
And to be honest, most people that walk the beach are glad to have the wind. It'd be almost unbearable out here without the wind. So
I know we are glad to have the wind right now. I mean, it helps keep us cool. It gets pretty rough to try to be out here on a 90-something degree day looking for beach treasures with no wind. We have waters, we have drinks along with us, enough fluids to keep us hydrated, because we brought you along on a total, this is going to be a total of like 3 miles that we're going to walk this beach. Step. Oh man. Then I seen those orange points sticking up. And I was in hopes. I was in hopes.
yep. Pretty little black cockle.
Nice. I'm gonna be double timing on through this section here.
And you can see again all the little mud balls I was talking about. And what that is like I said, it's just indicative that the sea was tumultuous and really tearing up the bottom kind of as the waves crashed up and rolled those little pluff mud balls into the little form that you see. Like that. Lots of them. So that's what all the little really dark spots that you see on the beach are. An arc. And one way you can tell the difference between the arc and the cockle is this straight line right here. Where that arc is hinged together on the arc itself will always be straight. Like that. See the straight line? Again, the straight line where they're connected. Lots of little minnows running. I'm not sure if you can see that, but see lots of little minnows running. I saw something through there. Oh, a big Florida cockle. And another. And you can see there what I'm talking about, even though there's a little section here where these hinge together as well, because they are bivalves, but it's not a perfect straight line like the arcs are. Oh, oyster. I thought it was a whelk. Another big cockle. Oh, driftwood. Wasn't sure what that was for a moment at that angle.
So YouTubers, they're out making videos, and they want people to actually watch their videos. So, sometimes we come out to these beaches like this and we find some awesome finds, and we have some people in the comments, they just want to know, where the only thing they want to know is where you were at. Where did you find those finds? a lot of times that information is hidden throughout the video, so we choose not to tell exactly where we at, because our whole meaning behind bringing people along is so that they follow along for the information that's hidden throughout the videos. So one thing that I want you guys to take a look at right here, you see this track hook? A lot of you, you know, probably you've never seen a track hook buried on many beaches, right? So if you do a little research, and if you want to find out what beach we on today, look for, you know, a barrier island beach in South Carolina with a track hose that's sunken on it, and that'll help you get the information that you need on where we at today. Look at these.
Lightning whelk and a cockle. Pretty, pretty. And I see a big broken piece of a awesome shell. So this is pretty exciting. Even though it's broken to me, it's exciting. I like it.
Is that? Golly, that would have been a huge one.
It is. It is a huge piece, broken piece of a horse conch. And what a conch it is. I mean, this thing would have probably been about this long if it was complete and whole. So that's pretty awesome.
Wow. That's pretty awesome to know that nature can create such awesome forms of art.
That's right. So this animal grew this big shell, and at some point, of course, it got broken along the way, and that may be what caused the demise of this shell. Big sea turtles and things like that that eat these types of shells, and or they eat the mussel out of these shells. So that's pretty neat. Especially because that's not a native shell to South Carolina. That shell, the closest area that we are in that grows that shell is Florida. So that shell has traveled a long way. Pretty well. Big tall points. Of terns over here, and sandernuts and sandpipers, and even some royal terns looks like up here.
Cool. I like that one there.
Yeah, that one is gorgeous.
That dark, that's almost a black color.
Yeah. Beauties.
I'm seeing one right there, a pretty old one. And I'm telling you, our finds are adding up, man. That's a monster. I can't believe that we found this big lightning whelk and this piece of big horse conch that's not even common to this area. Oh yeah, look at the size of that. Now it's not the perfect shell. A lot of nutrients and stuff has been sucked out of it over the years, but what I'm saying is boring sponges and other things can get on these shells and suck the nutrients out of them. But for size and thickness, this is a huge shell. Let's look at how wide it is also. I'm gonna try to get it rinsed off a little bit, give you a better look at it. Nice. Gonna make a nice shell to put in the shell guarding outside our house or somebody's house. I'm saying that Stephanie won't give these shells away. She won't hardly give her shells away. Right, Steph?
No.
Not too often, every now and then. Every now and then.
I am a shell hoarder and I can't help it. If I come out here and I see shells I like and I pick them up, I'm probably going to hoard them for myself. Look at that olive.
Where is it at, Steph? Oh. Nice find. And look at this here. This root system. It just looks like beach art to me. Over 20,000 subscribers now, guys. Ladies are with us on these videos that we're producing or videoing, mostly here in South Carolina. We do venture out a little bit when we get the chance to other areas and share videos while we in those areas also, but most of our videos have been videoed right here in South Carolina.
A couple of little pretty finds there. Just a little broken crown off of a knob whelk and a pretty little sand dollar. And there's a little whelk right here behind you.
One a little busted up right here. Trying not to get my feet cut up out here today. It's always a great idea to wear some shoes, but I wanted to feel the beach sand on my feet today. I wanted to be grounded and connected with nature. And we all need that sometimes. Sometimes you just need to kick them shoes off and you need to get them feet on the ground. That's the way we were put here to be originally. You know, things have changed with the way that we live, but we need to be back grounded a little bit from time to time. It really helps the body. That's how I feel. I may be wrong. What do you think? I love to read comments. I love to see what others think about things. I like positive comments though. I don't want to be dealing with much negativity. And sometimes if a comment gets too carried away and out of the way, I'm going to delete it, because I'm not going to let the viewers of the channel that like this type of stuff and staying positive be, you know, dealing with someone who's, you know, just being way out there to the point that, you know, I feel it's offensive to others. I will not tolerate that. You can say, you know, something about me maybe or something a little bit, but I can take a little criticism myself. Not too much. I'd hate for my feelings to get hurt, and I would also hate for her feelings to get hurt. So that's what I'm saying is, you know, we're just not going to tolerate this so much, and we're not going to tolerate someone trying to hurt someone else's feelings in these comments either.
But Oliver, we know some people just love to whine, cry, and complain.
I like to whine, cry, and complain too. I'm one of the worst there is probably, but my intention when I'm whining and complaining is definitely not to like put anyone down. If you know, if you're giving good advice and stuff and you're complaining, you know, to try to make things better, that's different. But when you're doing it just to, you know, hurt someone's feelings, that ain't me. I don't think that's right. Well, I'm seeing stuff everywhere. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, man.
That shows you how fragile they are.
Oh, goodness. Look at there.
Busted into pieces. The wind knocked it right out of your hand. Kind of what I call a mermaid bracelet. Really, it's just coquina shells that are attached to a worm casing that this worm does when it's living on purpose to protect its home. And pretty knobbed welt there.
Covered in a matrix. That hard matrix. It's like almost like cement on it. Can you let them see that real quick? This is what I'm talking about, that brown layer. And you can actually take picks and remove that from the shell. Some people may take the time to do that. We don't.
Yeah, and if you soak it in bleach or muriatic acid, that stuff will chip right off pretty easily because it's just a little.
We just kind of let it be natural.
Yeah,
though.
I'm a natural type girl, so I let it be natural too. And this one right here is a big whelk. It had a little piece of a broken whelk inside of it I was trying to get out. Pretty, pretty. Sand's a little softer on this side of the beach, on this end. So this wagon's heavy through this soft sand.
There's some points right over there to the left. Will you go look at that stuff? Grab that. If it's a nice shell. And as we're journeying back down this way, down back to our boat, the wind noise is actually going to clear up a little bit because the wind is going to be to my back. With the camera being in front of me, it's going to be blocking the wind some. And like I was mentioning, we're not running the windsock on the camera today because of overheating issues with the GoPros.
This was those big points you could see.
Wow.
It is broken.
But that would be okay. Somebody would like that in a shell garden.
That's right. And look at
We got a friend that's looking for some stuff like that. So today may be her lucky day. We may look out for her today and bring her some shells. Maybe. I doubt it. Steph probably can. There's something busted up right there to your left, right there in the edge of the water too. I don't know what that might look like total. Oh, not bad. It's busted, but
this one's a little too broken.
yeah, that's a little too bad. That right there, pretty good section of a shell. And we've done made the long journey you know, this way, and said that we were going to be selective as we came this way. But now that we're going back to our boat, we're about to start picking up a lot of shells, because we feel like no shells should be left behind, right?
Look at that big point right there. It looks like it's probably going to be broken, but we'll see.
Oh man.
Yep, it's broken.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's a little beyond the grade that we want. You know, you ever have them friends, they're shellers, and you just can't stand them because they can't leave no shell behind.
Or like Oliver's constantly trying to drag me down the beach further because I stop and look at everything sometimes.
Just remember, you can choose to have them as your friend or not. Don't let their shell hoarding affect you to the point that you can't stand them.
Oh, I see a starfish.
I see a starfish too, and
Lots of them. Wow. These are all deceased. There's 2 right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more right here. Oh, look at the baby's ear. Glad those starfish were there. I would have missed that if I wouldn't have stopped to look at those starfish.
another starfish here. Well, it's just a layer of starfish through this area.
Yeah, it looks like these are all around this little ghost crab hole, so he's probably been eating on these fellas.
What? I didn't know ghost crab eat on starfish, but look. There's the ghost crab hole.
And all the remnants. One there, and another baby's ear.
So do ghost crab eat starfish? Leave it in the comments. I have no idea.
Nature's pretty amazing, because I know one thing, starfish eat scallops, so you wouldn't think that a starfish, being the small little animal they are, could actually eat and pry open a scallop, but they can.
And here's one of the prehistoric species of shells that we find washed up here.
Horseshoe crab shell. And this could either be a molt or a deceased one.
And why this is a deceased one. And it's pretty nasty. Look at
Thankfully this
so we
part's
definitely
hard.
don't want to mess with that. And if that would have been a molt, because all crabs molt, even those horseshoe crabs, when you flip it over right there around the front leading edge, if you can find a busted area, more than likely it's a molt. And most of the, you know, the innards and stuff will be out of it and it won't be nasty like that. But look at this orange here. That's a bright orange.
It is. Look at the hinged talons.
Wow. Look at it glistening.
It's about to come apart. It's filled with sand.
Oh man, I know you've seen a lot of treasures that we've picked up back this way behind us, but I'm telling you, I've already seen what we passed as we was walking the lower tide level, and just come across this. She's kind of excited about it, but I was just saying that I've seen a lot of shells that we passed up in the high tide area that we were leaving so that we wouldn't miss out on what was at the low tide while it was coming in. And this right here, it's just a busted, and she's excited about it because we don't find a lot of them, but it's a piece of a busted giant eastern murex, and they're not very common here in South Carolina as beach finds on our beaches. We maybe have 20 that we picked up over the last 5 years or so. So, and some of them are in a lot better condition than this though. We still don't mind keeping those.
Got a pretty little snail, the shark eye. It's actually got the blue eye, so some people call this one the Paul Newman shell because of that bright blue eye. And look at how many shells are here. You can check that out. Another little shark eye there. One of those mermaid's bracelets like I was talking about. Shell. This is a bivalve. You can see it's actually dried up there in the center, and you can see the little saw teeth on it right here in the horizon. And these are a real fragile shell. Got a pretty welt there, and that one has definitely been attacked by the boron sponge. You can see all the little tiny holes in it, and that is just a type of sponge that comes along and it gets on top of these shells, and it sucks all the nutrients out that it can get through those holes.
You gonna keep it?
I am gonna keep it.
You want some of this drink?
Sure. I'm trying to look through all these little shells as we walk by. It's hard to look at everything at once. All the shells, believe me, we're not. You see all the shells behind us that we're leaving in our wake. We are not picking up all the shells. The hermit crabs out here still have plenty of things to get in, and the sea creatures still have plenty of things to eat off of them once they get washed back into the ocean.
We're not particularly worried about the ones of you that think that we are picking up too many shells, to be honest. I mean, it's our choice. You choose to do what you want. You know, as long as somebody else ain't doing nothing wrong, then don't try to run their life.
And we understand, we put ourselves out there on YouTube, so we understand that we are going to have people that don't agree with what we're doing or do agree with what we're doing, and that's okay. Just like in life, we can agree to disagree. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, not trying to be mean about it or anything, but you know, we all got our opinions of stuff in life, and you know, we understand that people's opinions differ, and that's, you know, their own well-being, all out, whatever they want to do. Look.
A big olive, I see it now that I've passed it. Some of these are kind of wind blown. It's hard to see, but check this out. Some really big mud balls up here. Check this out. That big piece of driftwood is wrapped around that sign that's there, creating some natural beach art. It's a sign. It looks like it's on some sort of post, but I'm not sure. I've never really noticed a sign there before, or maybe we have and I just don't remember. Because our memory can fail us, that's for sure. We're all human. So I got a piece of Dead Man Sea Fingers sponge, and check out this old hat. Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, parrot, surf and skate. And some balloon trash. Gotta get to the wagon. Let Oliver hold this camera so I can unload my hands. Found a cockle.
Here, unload the hands right there. Stuff it down in there.
Sand dollar back here. I didn't really.
Two hands doing stuff. One's on this drink and one is on this wagon right there. I don't mind helping. And what's a man supposed to do?
We're trying to cover both tide rack lines. Oliver's walking up in between those top two. And I see a pretty whelk right there. He'll probably stop and get up there. I'm trying to cover these two rack lines right here by walking in between so we can show you guys as much as possible.
Nice. That's another one for the shell garden. Shell garden. Busted up. I'm still looking for that ambergris.
Here.
Unfortunately, we've never run across any out here.
That we know of.
But oh yeah, one day we're going to run across it. And what I'm looking for is, you know, that smell. They say it has a perfumey, soapy smell. And for the ones of you who don't know what I'm talking about, it's actually whale vomit. And if you ever find it on the beach and you run across this stuff is very, very, very expensive whale vomit. It's used to make perfumes and stuff, believe it or not. Become really rich really quick from a big quantity of fire.
And then there's a little whelk with some oyster shells built up on it. See, we passed one right here. It's kind of beaten up. See something in and out the water here. Oyster shells, and Oliver's hollering at me, telling me to show you the Coast Guard. I'm not sure if you can see that or hear the helicopter going by, but that is the Coast Guard. They do monitor and fly up and down the beach zones, checking everything. So thank you to the Coast Guard for doing that.
Picked up that and this one right here while you were down that way. Another little look of the shells up close up and tell them more about what each and everything is we're seeing here.
Yep, lots of our common shells right in the same area of all this rack line. Lots of oysters, the quahog clams, another quahog clam, lots and lots of oysters. These are arcs, another arc, a slipper shell here, lots of those little mud balls. This is a piece of the blue mussel. You can see that pearlescence, opalescence shining in it. Eastern Murexes today. We'll run across the jackknife clams, the lightning whelks, the knob whelks, cockles, little tellins, and little tiny coquina clams. And in some cultures, they actually eat those little tiny coquina clams.
That's a pretty nice one. And that's weird looking. Shell right there also.
The cockle?
Yeah, but it's so, look how tall that one is. Just thick. You know.
Then we got a hinged quahog clam there, and that little whelk. It's got a little rust stain orange stripe right around it.
And this is what I mean about the color. Look at here. Look at the colors of everything that you can find right out here on this beach.
A little piece of driftwood.
No, we don't need that. We don't need that.
I'll probably give it to the same one you're talking about, giving some of these broken ones to. She'll like it. She's building a little beach area in her yard, so. Oh, look at here. Another piece of a murex.
That looks like a piece of the lace murex.
Maybe.
See the lines in it?
Yep.
It looks like a piece of the lace murex. For you more experienced shellers, is that part of the lace murex or the giant eastern murex? And the reason I'm saying lace is because I can see these lines like this.
It's kind of hard to tell without being able to look at the lip, because that's a big part of the distinction of a lace and a eastern murex, as well as, you know, the laciness of the lip of it. Little small whelk.
I mean, I'm just taking a wild guess.
Yeah, those straight lines on it, I mean, it could be either one. It's hard to tell broken like that.
I noticed that shell when we was down a little lower right there.
Yeah. This big section of a big piece of whelk. Would you put that in your shell garden?
No, I wouldn't.
No, because we already have a good bit of broken ones in our shell garden.
You talking to me? Just a nice cluster of the oysters.
Yep. One cool thing about the oysters, if you're using them for decoration, you could actually set it up in many different ways. You know, for those of you who like to change things around a little bit, you could just flip it over and whole new art piece.
That looks like a whole angel wing right here.
It does. Oh, it's got a hole in it.
Those angel wings, they're so fragile, you know, you're lucky if you can find whole ones, especially on a beach after a storm with high winds and rough waves that come through. They usually get busted up.
What is this? Oh, man, from that angle I thought it was a different type of shell, but just oysters.
Look here, right here. And look at the orange color right up the beach right there. It's hard not to spot something like this from a distance on this beach.
That's right. And look at here. I believe this one may be whole just because of how that sand is in there. Oh, it is. Look at there. It's going to be really hard to get it back home because we did not bring our little fragiles container today. So I'll put it back here where I got the little sand dollars, and we'll hope to remember when we close this, we'll put it in the boat, not to crush them.
If it don't make it home, you probably got bowlfuls and stuff of them anyhow that you're not doing nothing with.
Probably. Well, I take that back. I'm not doing nothing with them. They're in a bowl for me to look at.
What are you going to do with all these shells? What's your plan for all these shells?
The tried and true answer. I'm just going to look at them and love them.
Like the milk stash.
Sunblock stash.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like a milk stash a little bit. We got to keep that sunblock on.
Yeah, and I try to use the natural sunblocks that have the zinc in them, so they do leave you a little white, but that's okay. I'd rather have a little bit of a sunblock stash than skin cancer. Look at here, cross your fingers. Oh, it made a big dent in the sand.
Oh, man.
It's gorgeous. Let's rinse it off. Get some of this beach sand out of it. We try to leave completely open, so the other side of the oyster is already fallen off where it is deceased. But that's a beauty. Another one for me to look at and love.
Well, I'm kind of excited a little bit. I've spotted 2 shells that we haven't seen that many of today.
No whole ones, I don't think, today. The channeled whelk.
And that one's in really good condition, right?
It is, even the lip and everything's in good condition. And they're a much thinner, more fragile type shell is why we don't see these as many whole.
And right here.
Here's another good example. It's not whole. One whole whorl is broken off and the tip is broken.
And it's been attacked by a boring sponge.
Absolutely.
All the tiny little holes. It's been attacked by them boring sponges, and they have sucked some of the nutrients out of that shell.
Here's another channeled whelk, broken. And it would have been even bigger. And today, since we're trying to help one of our friends make her shell garden outside, it's going to be a keeper for us. Check this out. A blue crab, deceased blue crab, was a girl. You can see by her orange claws and her triangular shaped apron, which is no longer there, but you can see the shape of it. So, all the little animals on the beach.
What you like, ladies, and stop thinking. I think this piece of driftwood here, you know, maybe with some shells around it. You know, something like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
I kind of like it.
It's pretty, and that's all that matters. Is if you like it, put it in a
Well,
bag.
I mean, I don't want it for me because I got enough driftwood. But to a friend in need, maybe they'll like it.
Or at least a friend that won't. Or in hopes that she is.
If we're not doing things for others, and then it's like, I just don't feel like we're living a very good life.
Here we go. Another. And every time I get close to the ground, guys, you should be able to see those common shells that we keep walking over. And that's all these shells that are out here. That's kind of what they are. Of course, a lot of times you see us leave the broken whelks and things like that. Like I said, today we're on a different little mission, but typically you see that we leave a lot of them. And I do see some footprints in the sand of some actual, and that is a tennis shoe. And neither of us have on tennis shoes. Oliver didn't bring any shoes with him. He's got his Crocs in the boat, and my flip-flops are not that pattern. So those, it's not my feet, but those footprints in the sand ahead of us. So somebody else was out here checking out the beach. A little broken piece of a channel whelk. And a lot of these you can tell are wind blown with the sand blowing over them. So it makes it harder to find whatever shells you're looking for. But it's a treasure hunt, so it's not supposed to be easy, really. I don't know anything about life that's easy, so hey, check it out. Chartreuse and pink. What's the name of this? I can't think of it right this second, but I know this color pattern has a name in the lure world.
Ladies and guys, to take a look at this right here before I cover it, because it looks like a giant moon snail, and I'm hoping that this thing is complete.
I hope so.
Look at here.
Oh,
Oh, it is.
Awesome.
It's a little bit chipped up right here. Probably lost some of the shell, but
Still a beautiful find. Awesome.
look how big it is. From here to here, this thing is about 2.5, 2 3/4 inches, I would guess. You grab that for me.
And there's a little whelk right there past you.
Sitting here waiting on you to come so I can pick it up with.
Oh, okay.
And right down over that way, I've already spotted one.
About this one. One here.
I told you ladies and guys that there was a lot of shells being passed.
Press those off a little bit. Yes, check that out. Sheller's delight. Definitely a shell heaven here.
Here we go. A few more from right here. So from here on back to the boat should be really, really good shallow. Really good. How's that battery looking on that GoPro snap?
It doesn't tell you from this screen.
Another little well,
Pretty one too.
right here. Another.
Pretty. A little blue slipper snail right beside it. There's another whelk here. Broken up. Look how different.
So you ladies, you guys, you can see that we got about 3/4 of a mile back to our boat. Brought you along on another video, the ones of you that keep following along. And this is the point in this video where we're actually going to cut it. And the reason being is, you know, we didn't bring but so many batteries when we go doing stuff today. It's enough to make the journey. I got one more fully charged batteries that we're going to start right back with in the next part of this video. I hope you guys and you ladies have really enjoyed this. I definitely don't want you to think that any of the comments and stuff that we've made during this video is to, you know, step on anyone's toes or anything. We just love bringing the ones that love to come out on the beaches with us and look for these shells along as we're, you know, finding our treasures. We really enjoy stuff like this. We want to be good stewards of the sea and never do anything wrong intentionally to hurt the beaches. And a lot of times we even pick up trash and stuff when we are out on the beaches. So if you like videos like this and content like this, please make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, because in the next video I'm going to try to get it uploaded so that we can take you on down the rest of this beach right here in South Carolina, this beautiful Barrier Island beach. Thanks.
We're not scripted. We don't act. We are just who we are, and we're just walking down the beach, rambling and talking. So we hope you guys enjoy coming along with us. If you do, like you said, make sure you hit that subscribe so you come along on the future videos.
Had to show you this.
Look, we already walked right past this as we're trying to end this one. We're steady finding more.
So we can never pick up all these shells out here. You guys take care. You stay safe. We'll see you.